Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, we made our way over to Ulta. I wanted to see if we could find any good deals on advent calendars and makeup bundles, skincare bundles, so let's get into it. So as soon as we walked in, we could tell right away that there was bundles, advent calendars, everything I had in mind was there. Personally, I think this bundle right here is perfect. It had a mix of makeup and skincare. Instantly thought of my mom for this one. So I do want to say I am not a huge fan of Wicked. I haven't watched anything. I don't know if a new one's coming out. I don't know that whole deal, but I will say some of the things they had here were quite cute. For example, these blushes were quite stunning. Honestly, I would have been down to grab one of the blushes and this eyeshadow palette. Beautiful colors, stunning colors. They had different things as well, but those were the only things that really stuck out to me. But I will say that Black Friday is literally right around the corner. So if you are a fan, definitely recommend coming over here, giving a look around. They also did have some perfume sets. They had the single ones and they had the little bundle ones. Not gonna lie, I actually really liked how this pink one smelled. It smelled subtle, sweet, quite nice. Now this green one, I wasn't a fan of the bottle nor the smell. I did have to smell it twice just to kind of see if I could get more notes. I don't know, it was just very not me, I guess. Right around the corner, they did have these advent calendars. Now if you're not familiar, Joy Bright is kind of Ulta's brand. These advent calendars were everywhere, so you will be seeing more of these later on in the video. But let's talk about MAC. Now, I don't own any MAC, so was I tempted? Yes. I will show you guys my favorite things, but first, let's go through every single bundle. Let's look at them, let's talk about them, let's just see. So for $35, not really messing with these shades, so I definitely would pass on this one. So again, some things that I would have liked to grab is these setting sprays. Definitely these little lip duos, the lip liner, the lipstick just looks stunning. Now these shades personally aren't me, but the packaging is cute. Okay, I'll give them that. I love the little dangly. It would be a nice, cute stocking stuffer if you have the extra cash, you know. So again, more bundles. Me personally, I'm more of a nude type gal. I love that MAC did add a good bit of nudes to pick from, but they also added bold colors, like for example, this kit. Now these right here, tempting. Okay, I loved these shades. And again, if you're not a fan of nudes, you have the options to get reds and pinks. So that was pretty much it for the MAC bundles, at least in this little area that I could find. They also did have separate items at the very bottom, but I mean, those were just normal price, you know. But with that being said, we can move on to Benefit. It was right next to the mat. They had these little brow sets. Okay, cute, different shades. They also did have the mascara duos. This one was the only one that came with like a free wax pin or something. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan on their mascaras. I did try the Roller Lash, one of their popular ones. Me personally didn't really like it. Didn't do much for my lashes. But if you do like those mascaras, definitely recommend trying out these bundles. They also did have different little lip tint stuff. Quite cute, quite nice, right? Me personally probably wouldn't get it. But I will say the set down here was actually quite nice. Only just take away the mascara. I personally don't really like the mascara. Now, this packet does have a few minis in here. I know not a lot of people are a big fan of mini products being in their packages, advent calendars. Totally understand though. There's also this little cute palette that they have. Real quick, I do want to say if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm here for you guys on Fridays. Anyways, let's get back into it. They had different perfume sets, for example, these. If you're trying to grow your perfume set, might as well check them out for Black Friday. Here's some more of that Joy Bright brand. I will be honest, this is giving Claire's, very much Claire's. Cute idea, but not the type of packaging I would personally want to have. So there was actually a whole lot of the Sweet and Shimmer products all over the store. Everywhere you turn, there would be something related to this brand. Like most brands, they had their cute stuff, they had their iffy stuff, they had stuff that, you know, would be worth your money and other stuff that you would just want to stay away. And real quick, I have to show you guys the famous Mini Brands advent calendar. Literally, I did the math and the math was mathing right, okay? Definitely worth your money if you're into the Mini Brands. So with this, I tried being as organized as I could. I tried to show you guys the same brands at the same time. That way it's not a lot of back and forth. But I will say there was stuff everywhere. I know stores get crazy. People misplace things. understand 100%. I'm just trying to make it a little bit easier for you guys. This is another one of those bundles that I was so tempted into getting. That set looked really nice, especially for traveling. They also had all these different sets. I haven't really heard of this brand. Okay, I've also heard of the Half Magic. Haven't tried any other products, but look at the shimmer to this. It literally is so stunning. You just want to keep staring at it. Beautiful. Anyways, let's see what Essence has for us for this Christmas. She's alright. She's alright if I'm being honest. They also did have some Touchland sets. If you have not tried Touchland, I like it. I just don't like the price for it, especially for it just being hand sanitizer. I do like that they make the body and hair mist, because let's be honest, their scents smell amazing. This packet right here has so many of them. I don't remember the price for that one, but real quick, let's move on. So here they had a sale going on for the Joy Bright. They had a lot of cute little things, I'm not gonna lie. This one right here really caught my eye. I love the different shades of nudes. Okay, why is it actually cute? I think it was like 16, 17 bucks for this. And the price for this was actually not bad. They also did have these jelly looking ones. Personally, I wouldn't use these, but I think they look pretty. Wasn't really messing with these. They just reminded me too much of peanut butter and jelly. They also had different things. Quite cute, quite nice. Now let's move on to Sol de Janeiro. Now, they go crazy when it comes to their bundles, okay? For example, this one right here. Huge, massive. I picked up the box. I didn't expect it to be that big and heavy. But if that box is too much for you, they also have smaller sets. They also have sets in the certain smells. Me personally, I do not like 68. That smell is just not for me. I don't know what it is. And hey, we have some more Joy Bright. I told you guys these were all over the store, everywhere. Here's some different kits. They have that one. They also have these little glow up ones, face mask, little mini eyeshadows. They had so many things to pick from. Personally, I don't know, it kind of looked like kid makeup. I hate to say that. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know. But I will say, me being here, there's definitely a whole lot more skincare than actual makeup. At least for now. I don't know if I came a little too early. So if you've been wanting to try a certain skincare, you know, just to test it out, definitely would recommend giving these a try. And again, same with the skincare, the makeup, the body stuff. Everything was kind of just all over the place. So I will show you skincare, body care, back to makeup. For example, this, again, makeup. It was all over the place. Anyways, so with this, I was so surprised when I pulled it out because I thought it was just the two duo. No, there's 4. Stunning shades. Lovely. Love that. Now, I have been trying to look for a dupe for the Peach and Lily collagen mask. Okay, those are actually quite pricey. I will show you guys the sets here in a little bit. And of course, when I turned around, there was some more Sweet and Shimmer. Cute again, nice. Now, I did have to double look at this one because I was kind of confused. Yeah, it's little cuticle mask, quite cute. Haven't seen anything else like that, so nice. Now, again, if you are gifting someone some of these, definitely would recommend totally looking more into the different things. They did have the little compact mirror. Don't be that friend. There's nail files. Don't be that friend. Nail clippers. Don't be that friend. Okay. These, though, these are stunning. I love these. Don't know exactly what they are, but I love the shimmer. Anything shimmery really caught my eye. Instantly, when I saw the different type of smells that they had, I thought of making different baskets with all of the certain smells in one, you know, cute. I did end up finding another advent calendar. This is the skincare advent calendar. Face mask, quite cute, quite nice. They also did have this set right here. Instantly found some of my favorite ones, which is the charcoal, the cherry blossom, the coffee. Love those. Even the honey one is amazing. If you have a friend that is obsessed with Squishmallows, this one right here would be a great gift. Look at all these different face masks. And I want to say this is only 15. Yeah, only 15 bucks. But real quick, I did want to go ahead and show you guys this one right here. I would personally consider this a little advent calendar. I don't know. But it is a hair bundle. It has different things. So if you're getting into hair, probably want to check this out. Now let's move on to Peach and Lily. I have been wanting to try their stuff for the longest time, especially their face mask. Their face mask looks amazing. Everybody talks about them being amazing. They're just expensive. Okay, so I have been, like I said, wanting to try this brand. So I did walk over to their section. They had different little bundles. I was so tempted. I don't know. I think I need to finish the skincare I have now just to fully see and then slowly make my way to Peach and Lily. It is expensive, but I have heard so many good things about this brand. So if I'm being honest, I don't really know much about this brand, but I have been seeing it all over my feed. So I just went ahead and recorded it for you guys. And again, right around the corner, we have some more of the Sweet and Shimmer. Now this one, we had more options to pick from. They had hair care, makeup, body care, so many different things that you can pick from, different options. And that blush, I know you saw that blush. That blush was actually quite stunning. These little hair clips, I was debating whether to get them for Mia or not. And see, this is kind of like what I was talking about. I don't know. I didn't really like the feeling of this one. This one just didn't feel right. So now we are going to move on to more skincare because like I said, stuff is everywhere. Now I have been obsessed with this brand lately. I have been using their discoloration one. It has been helping me so much. So will I look more into these bundles later on? Yes. But real quick, before I show you guys all the different bundles that they have, I do want to show you this one. She's stunning, okay? She's gorgeous. I don't use this brand at all, but I would just buy it just because of how sparkly she is. She's cute. She's stunning. Here are some other sets that I would be very happy with are these hero patches, right? These sets, quite cute, quite nice. I wouldn't even be offended. I would be happy to have those. But here are the bundles that I was talking to you guys about that on a regular basis, some of these brands, the skincares, do come with bundles already. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas, you know, they just have them in general. So I think we can step away from the skincare just for a little bit. Like I said, there is a whole lot of skincare. But here is some lip products from NYX. Okay, cute, stunning wheel. They also did have this little eyeshadow palette that took me forever to open. I will say that the theme to these are the same as last year's. I mean, I'm not really picky. I just think it's cute that all these bundles are there. When I picked this box up, it felt empty. But look at the shades of these. Perfect. Love me a good nude. They also did have these little mini gingerbreads, which was the bronze and the blush. She's cute. She's stunning. Okay. Another thing that actually got me quite happy was this set right here. This set was, I think, $13. All right. Like I said, I don't know much about hair, but I went ahead and recorded the bundles for you guys. Just in case you're into hair, you can see what's going on, what's new at Ulta. So here are some of those hair products. I can't really speak on them much, but, Ulta picks, different brands. Yeah, but what I can say is I have been into the blowout hair look. Love that. Okay, so I did actually find these heated rollers and I was tempted, but then I saw the price, so I walked away. It said 50% off, but still. So now we're going back into makeup. So here is some Too Faced. I haven't heard about Too Faced in a hot minute, but this mascara deal was actually quite nice, Here's some more skincare. Love us a good skincare, a good bundle. Not a huge fan of the Clinique, but they did have different bundles to pick from makeup to skincare to fragrance. They had a lot. Me, like I said, not a huge fan. Again, more makeup. I did find the Charlotte Tilbury little bundle, so if you've been wanting to try Charlotte Tilbury, I know it is a very pricey, but there is that. They also did have some more Half Magic across the store, so there's those little bundles. This one right here actually got me a little interested, okay? It's quite nice. I was staring at it for a hot minute because I was reading everything that it had, and I was very interested. So here they have, again, more skincare, different type of skincare. This brand is actually very nice, but very bougie, okay? And of course, before I left, I did have to come over to look at the tier section. They have been growing a lot, but let's go over to the fragrance, okay? Look how cute these teeny tiny things are, but they're still very expensive. If you're into fragrance, definitely recommend coming to look at all these different bundles. I used to be a sucker for the Versace Bright Crystal, okay? That is what I would drench myself in every single day, but I feel like the smell kind of just, I don't know. I feel like everybody would use it, so I just stopped. And again, before I go, I did want to smell these because these have been trending all over my feed. Personally, the purple one smelled all right. It wasn't my favorite, but this one right here was actually really nice. I just kept smelling it because it smelled really good. I have been trying to change my scent a little bit. I have really been obsessed with coconuts, vanilla. I want something in the middle, something coconutty, something vanilla-y, I don't know. And of course, we can't forget about Tree Hut because the scents they come out with every single holiday is amazing, which they actually had the little bundles right here. It's a set of 3 of them. I would be so happy to get this one. Now, this scent right here was it, okay? I love this smell. But let's get back on track because I kind of lost track for a second. Here is some Morphe bundles. Again, don't really hear much about Morphe. I did hear about their brushes being quite good. But anyways, you guys, that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, for tagging along, even though it is a voiceover. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.